Hi again, guys. All right, it is math time. So I want you to get your math books and turn to page 697. So we're going to start talking about shapes. Okay. All right, so today we're going to describe plane shapes. An architect draws plans for houses, stores, offices, and other buildings. Look at the shapes in the drawing at the right. So if you look there, you can see his drawing. A plane shape is a shape on a flat surface. It is formed by points that make curved paths, line segments, or both. So you see line segments in here, okay? That means they have a starting point and an ending point. You see curved spots, okay? There's curved segments, all right, in your drawing. Now, plane shapes are two-dimensional. It means they're flat. Okay, it's what we normally make when we draw on paper. Okay, you can also have 3D shapes. They're not plane shapes though, they're 3D, they're three-dimensional. Plane shapes are two-dimensional, just means they're flat. Okay, there's no thickness, there's no depth in them. All right, so here are some different plane shapes. We have a point. Okay, a point is an exact position or location. So we've drawn points before. Okay, it just means when you have a line and you put a dot on it. That's your point. Okay, everybody make a fist. Fist is your point. Okay, you'll have to know that later in a little bit. Okay, so point. Then we have a line. A line is a straight path, continues in both directions, and does not end. So your line looks like this. It has two arrows. Two arrows, one on each end. Now, that would be shown as this. Now, normally I go like this in the classroom, but you can't see my hands, okay? They're just straight. That represents an arrow. So I'm just gonna go like this for line, okay? So it's a little different, a little weird, but I look funny and that's okay. So in class we would do this, but right now we're gonna do this so you can see me on the camera. Okay, so line, point. All right, ready? I'm going to say line or point. You're going to do it. Point, line, point, line. All right, okay. Then we have end points. End points are points that are used to show segments of lines. So that means that they look like this. End points. They're telling me that the line stops, okay? So endpoints tell me that the line stops. Your endpoints are like this, okay? So normally it would be like that, right? You can't see my hands though. All right, so this would be endpoints. All right, so when I say, I'm gonna say point, line, or endpoints. Ready? Point. Good. Line. Good. Endpoints. Good. Okay, that means that these lines are ending here. Okay, so endpoints, line, point. Okay, now we have line segments. Line segment is just that. Okay, it's straight, is part of a line, and has two endpoints. So here are your endpoints. Okay, and when you draw a line between them, that turns into a line segment. Okay, so here we go. Line segment, line, point. Ready? Line segment, and these are your endpoints. Line segment, line, point. Okay? Now, array is straight, is part of a line, has one endpoint, continues in one direction. Okay? So it would look like this. Would have my arrow on one side, endpoint on the other side, means it goes forever and ever and ever and ever and ever on this side until it comes to an endpoint. Okay, that means this side can go as far as it can go, and this side stops. All right? Okay, are you ready? So we have point, we have line segment, and we have ray, and you can do either one, as long as you have one endpoint and one arrow, okay? All right, I'm going to yell them out, and you do them. And you can leave your hands straight out as long as you're doing the right things, okay? but you can't see my motions, so I have to make them a little smaller. All right, are you ready? Line. Yeah, there you go. Line. How about point? Line segment. That's when we put our endpoints on the end, right? Line segment. Then we have point. Good. Line. Good. Arrows on both sides. You ready? Ray. Endpoint. Arrow. If you do it this way, that's fine too, as long as you have one endpoint and one arrow. Okay? One arrow, one endpoint. All right. How about a line? 2 arrows. Good. How about line segment? Good. 2 endpoints. How about array? Good job. Or if you want that way, that's fine too. How about point? Good. All right. Excellent, guys. Let's continue. At the bottom, it says some plane shapes are made by connecting line segments at their endpoints. One example is a square. Describe a square using math words. Okay, well, if you look here, it says think. How many line segments and endpoints does a square have? Well, look at how many line segments there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many endpoints? 1, 2, 3, 4. So a square has 4 line segments. The line segments meet only at their endpoints. Okay? So go ahead and write that. 4 line segments. The line segments meet only at their endpoints. So do you see how they're line segments? They each have, every line has an endpoint. So that makes it a line segment. Okay? All right, once you have that written, let's go to page 698. At the top, it says plane shapes have length and width, but no thickness. So they are also called two-dimensional shapes, 2D. And it shows you have a length and you have a width. Try this. Draw some plane shapes. Plane shapes can be open or closed. Okay, that simply means, here, look, a closed shape starts and ends at the same point. So closed shape, closed shape, closed shape. Looks like Pac-Man. Closed shape, closed shape, closed shape. There's nowhere there's an opening. You can't get out of that shape. An open shape does not start and end at the same point. So if you have a wiggly line, there's no close. That point's not meeting the end point. Okay? Here's an open shape. Open shape, open shape, open shape. All right, on the right, it says in the space below, draw more examples of closed shapes. I want you to draw 2 shapes that are closed. It can look like anything as long as it is closed. So get your wipe off board, your marker, and your eraser. I lost my eraser. Oh, here it is. And I want you to draw me 2 closed shapes in that box at the top on the right. So don't draw the same ones they already have. All right, be creative. So okay, they can be funky like this one or just a regular shape. As long as they are closed. They've got to be closed. Okay? All right, and then below that it says, in the space below, draw more examples of open shapes. Okay, so draw me 2 open shapes. Now you can't draw the ones that are already there. So draw 2 open shapes. Two open shapes. And it doesn't matter as long as they're shapes. Okay, and they're open. See how these don't meet and these don't meet. Okay, so 2 open shapes. Okay, all right, so at the bottom it says, is the plane shape at the right a closed shape or an open shape? And tell me how you know. So take a look at that shape. Is it closed or open? Well, it's closed, and how do you know? Because the beginning, they meet. The beginning and the end meet, okay? So they're not, there's no spaces to get out of that shape. There's no open spaces. Okay, so it starts and it ends at the same spot. Okay? All right, let's go to page 699. All right, before we start on 699, let's review. Okay, show me a point. Good. Show me a line. Excellent. Show me a line segment. Good. Show me a ray. Excellent. Or if you went this way, that's fine too. All right, good job, guys. Okay, 699. Write how many line segments the shape has. So they're looking at this triangle right here. How many line segments do you see? There's 1, 2, and 3. 3 line segments. Okay. All right, number 2. Circle all the words that describe the shape. All right, so let's take a look at this line, this shape. I'm not going to call it something I almost did. Okay, would we call this a ray or a point or both? We would call it a ray, right? Because a point is just this with nothing else, right? That would be an end point because it's at the end of the line of the ray. Okay, so this would be a ray, all right? Number 3, open shape, closed shape. Well, what is that? Do you see any openings there? Nope, so it is a closed shape. Number 4, open shape, closed shape. It is an open shaped. Good job. See that opening up there? It doesn't mean that shows me that it didn't start and stop at the same spot. So it's open. So it started here, went down and up, and stopped here. Didn't stop where it started. And then number 5, is that a line or a line segment? It's a line segment. It has 2 endpoints. Okay? Remember, line segment has 2 endpoints. A line has 2 arrows. It means it goes on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever until it comes to an endpoint, right? Okay? All right. Let's go to numbers 6 through 9. It says, write whether the shape is open or closed. So open or closed. Number 6, open. Good job. Number 7, closed. Number 8, closed. Number 9, open. Good job. Those are easy. Now, for numbers 10 through 13, we have to decide how many line segments the shape has. So we have to count our lines. Okay, our line segments. So let's look at number 10. So I see a 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 line segments for number 10. Let's look at number 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 line segments for number 11. I want you to pause the video and do numbers 12 and 13 by yourself. Count the line segments. All right, so number 12, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 line segments. And number 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 line segments. All right, and then 14 through 17, write whether the shape is open or closed. All right, so these are pretty simple. Number 14, closed. 15, opened. 16, closed. 17, closed. Good job, guys. All right, so let's review. Are you ready? Point. Good. Line. Excellent. Ray. Good. Or if you went that way, it doesn't matter as long as you have 1 endpoint and 1 arrow. Line segment. Good. Ray. Good. Are you ready? Line. Excellent. Point. Good job. All right, so let's turn to page 701. 701. All right, it says, write how many line segments the shape has. So number 1 is done for you. It has 4. You got to do number 2. 3 and 4, write whether the shape is open or closed. Opened or closed. Number 5, Carl wants to show a closed shape in the drawing. Show and explain how to make the drawing a closed shape. So what do you have to do to this drawing here to make it closed? And then just explain what you did. Number 6, the shape of a fish pond at the park is shown below. Is the shape opened or closed? So decide, opened or closed. All right, and number 7, yes, you have to do. Draw an open shape and a closed shape. Label your shapes. So over here in your space, draw me an open shape and write opened. Draw me a closed shape and write closed. Okay? And then that, you send me a picture of that. And then on page 702, all right, numbers 1 and 2 deal with what we talked about today. And then spiral review, you can do all of those. So I need a picture of 701 and 702. All right, guys? All right, if you have any questions, make sure you message me. Bye, guys.